Jon Stewart was proven right once again and almost instantly in this case because we already talked about this once. He was on a podcast and he talked about the capitulation that he sees out there. All these companies bowing down to Donald Trump and how terrible it is for America and how little it's gonna work for themselves too. So he said at one point, I'm in a spot where I can do the Daily Show Monday until the company is bought out by people that don't want anything to do with the Daily Show. And then who the F knows what's gonna happen. I mean, look at what they're doing now at 60 Minutes and CBS News and everything else. What you're seeing now is all must pay tribute to the king, and the price of peace is different. ABC had to pay 15 million, Bezos had to pay 40 million for a documentary on Melania. The reason the guy from 60 Minutes and the head of CBS News left is it's not even about the money. Part of the deal is they have to apologize. And in that moment, these people who have built careers on their excellence and their integrity have to look and go, all right, I hope I've done well enough that I can weather this, but there's no effing way that I'm going to apologize for doing my job that's supposed to be done just because this one guy is offended by it. And he concludes, a policy of appeasement always leads to more conquest. So that takes us to, yes, it was great commentary, very dark for America, that they're appeasing Trump, but that Trump is doing this deeply authoritarian BS that we would never accept from any other president. So that brings us to 60 Minutes. Trump lawyers at News Today have rejected a proposed $15 million settlement from Paramount because of the mental anguish they experienced from how 60 Minutes lied about him. Now, I just want to remind everyone, they did nothing wrong. Literally nothing wrong. They know they did nothing wrong. Every objective legal scholar says this would be a slam dunk trial. The issue is they're terrified that unless they pay this dictator protection money, that he will use the power of the US government against them, which he is already doing. And so they're like, fine, okay, we'll pay you. We'll give you 15 million. That seems like the going rate for this sort of blood money. And they rejected it. They want more because they have already been given 15 million by ABC. So maybe they want 30, maybe they want 50, maybe $100 million handed over to Donald Trump. And if they do it, then who do they come after next? Is it TYT? You don't post, Tory, on your Instagram, don't post anything negative about Donald Trump. You might have to pony up some money to him too. And so this was days ago that Jon Stewart said this, and we've already seen further proof of it this week. What do you think?
Okay, so first off, just take the First Amendment and throw it out the window. Also take a lot of, what do you call bravery, and throw that out the window. They did it because absolutely 15 million was enough, and it was not enough to worry them, but it was enough to shut up the president and capitulate. I want to say something about this because it's not only in the media, which is really scary because now we're talking about journalism and the right of the free press. But I also want to take a look at law firms. I know that's a little bit boring, but my dad works at Williams and Connolly, and they represented Perkins and Coie in that big Trump fight. And of all the law firms that could have stood up against Trump, not one other than Williams and Connolly stood up that were in the top 20 of the law firms. 500 of them, signed up, but not one in the top 20 law firms stood up to Trump. And what scares me, John, is the lack of courage, is the lack of long game, of the idea that we could give up our integrity and apologize to this dictator because that's easier, because that'll make it easier for them. That is directly against sort of what we hold dear. And what scares me is the slippery slope of this. It's already started at CBS, at Paramount, at ABC with Bezos. Just shut him up, just let him like us. That is what the press is supposed to go against. That's what you and I are doing.
Yeah, no, that's the main reason I want to talk about this. Is just it's, for those of us who don't have political power to see that these organizations, sure, I understand that they're scared. It's the US government and Donald Trump doesn't respect the law or the Constitution. I would be scared too. But you guys have some backing by the public. You have money, you have lawyers.
You have lawyers,
and you guys aren't gonna do anything. Right now we have Harvard sort of standing up a little bit. We've got that. And pretty much nothing else.
Harvard. Yeah, I was proud of Harvard, and I was proud of my dad's law firm to represent Perkins and Coie and stand up. But where is everybody else? It's just Tory and John out here in a boat. That's it. It's just us and Ashley, the producer.
And a lot of those other law firms have already they've given in too. They've said we'll give you $100 million in pro bono work to, I don't know,
Absolutely.
deport innocent people or whatever.
It's disgusting. It's so disgusting. Yeah.
And again, I try to identify whenever we can the people who actually stand up to this. And I just want to quickly remind people. You remember when they were trying to get rid of the charges against Eric Adams or whatever, and you had that Assistant United States Attorney Hagen Scotton. And he said, if no lawyer within earshot of the president is willing to give him that advice, then I expect you will eventually find someone who is enough of a fool or enough of a coward to file your motion, but it was never going to be me. And he resigned. There's almost nobody with those principles.
That's right.
No people, no organizations.
That's right.
People who do the organization. Sorry, continue.
No, I was just saying maybe it starts with the universities. Like maybe Harvard starts a domino effect of institutions standing up for them, because it's appalling that in the second term you wouldn't have seen this coming and had some backbone. Again, you're right. The lawyers, the money, you just gave up and gave them 15 million without question. Who are you?
Yeah, it's sad.
Weak sauce.
Really fast. Jamie Raskin is investigating the meme coin dinner, a little bit of the corruption. We've got that. That's basically it. And there's not a lot. So the people who are actually standing up, you have to show support for them. We're trying to spotlight them as much as we can.
He went to my high school, by the way. He's a grasshopper.
Oh, really?
Way to go, Raskin.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Thank you so much.
That's one of my favorite cocktails.